What up guys, SuperMetal983 here bringing you a little video. I know I'm meant to be on hiatus at the moment, but I feel like this video is pretty justified and I'm still in complete shock, to be honest. But yeah, last night while I was out and about, I was on a drive, just been with my parents, went out for a drive up to South Shields. And then, as I was on my way back, my phone was just going absolutely nuts with notifications. Bloop, 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 left, right and centre. And then my brother texted us, or rather Facebook messages, it said send photo, and said something along the lines of, for fuck's sake, or something along those lines. And I was like, oh no, something bad's happened. So I quickly pulled over and unlocked my phone, and the first thing that loaded up was Facebook, and it was Shadow of Intent breaking the news that Trevor Strnad of the Black Dahlia murder had sadly passed away. And I'm not even joking, I broke down straight away. I couldn't actually fucking believe it, if I'm honest with you. I was just like in complete and utter shock. Like, I had to stay at the side of the road for like 10 minutes just to like calm down, to get my emotions under control. But I was just in complete and utter shock. Like, I just couldn't believe it, honestly. So I raced over to my mum's and broke down again. And when I calmed myself down, I went all the way home. And then when I got home, made a post on my Facebook and on Casting Tephra's page. And I'm still in complete disbelief that this news is broke. For those who know me out there personally and as a musician, will know that Trevor was my idol, my biggest influence when it came to being a musician and just as even a metalhead, you know. Like, as a musician, his vocals were something that I strive to sound like. Probably not very well at all, but he was definitely the biggest influence when it came to mic tone and stuff like that. And then his stage presence was something to behold. When I saw them back in 2012 on the Ritual tour, it was a great eye-opener. It was like, I want to be like that as a frontman, you know. And the fact he does all that sort of stuff with his hands, I mimic a little bit live. Like, I don't do the whole fist pumping thing, as I look fucking stupid doing it, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, see those influences there. Lyrically, he's not like, he's a massive influence, but I'm not good at writing lyrics. But his lyrics always had such an amazing story within them and a lot of attention to detail. And he is generally and will be one of the best lyricists on the fucking planet. His writing was second to none, absolutely incredible. And I know I'll never reach that level, but he was just such a iconic lyricist in my personal opinion. I mean, every album had a story told, every track had a story to hold. So if you haven't read the lyrics before of the Black Dahlia murder, I highly urge you to do so. And the band has always been my favourite death metal band of all time, ever since I first discovered them. But on a personal level, he, with his obitualist selection section, should I say, on Metal Injection, promoting underground bands, talking about newer releases, and just supporting the underground was something that I really looked up to and really admired, because I myself am a true supporter of underground music. And even the well-known artists, like, he will go to a show of like his favourite bands like Cannibal Corpse or Carcass or whatever, but then also make an appearance at really small independent shows and independent festivals, discovering new bands and also taking smaller bands on tour. Like, I read, as soon as the news broke out, loads of people telling stories about him asking smaller bands to come out on tour with them, and these bands are not very well known at all at the time, and taking them out on their first tours and stuff like that through America, Europe, or what have you. It's just something amazing to behold, and that's something that I strive for, is supporting the bigger bands and also supporting the smaller bands, because it's something to really look up to. It's where the roots come from. There's smaller bands out there, there's bigger bands and stuff like that, so you can really see, if you know me personally, you know that's where my influence comes from. It was from Trevor, and to see someone that enveloped and being such an encyclopedia of metal was just like something that I quickly attached myself to, and was like, finally there's someone else like me, sort of thing, you know. But yeah, I met him also just after the show in 2012, and he was such, even though it was so brief, it was like less than 2 minutes, it was still, he was such a nice guy, and we got a photo together, and quite frankly, that photo is one of the most cherished memories for me, to know that I got a photo with me icon. And yeah, I was so looking forward to seeing them at Bloodstock this year, but obviously it's not going to happen now. But yeah, I'm so sad about it. I'm still a little bit stricken by it and still in disbelief, but since last night I've listened to like most of their albums. I'm nearly at the end. I think I'm in the middle of listening to Unhallowed before I did this video, and I've got Abysmal left to listen to. Then I've listened to all the albums, and I'm probably going to listen to the rest of all the albums all over again after that. But I remember where it all started for me. I remember me and my brother. My brother was going out in his car, and I was going with him, and he used to put on his CDs in the car. We used to listen to Slipknot, Korn, System of a Down, Every Time I Die, and a bunch of other bands. And he stuck on the album that started it off for me was Miasma. He stuck this on, and hearing Bullet for Sin, that heavy as fuck intro, and then leading into I'm Charming with the blast beat, being like, what the fuck is this? First time hearing blast beats, like I hadn't even heard People Equals Shit at that point, and I heard that and I was like, that is incredible. And then hearing those extreme vocals on top of that, it was just, it blew me fucking mind. I can't even remember when it was. It must have been like 2010, 2009, something like that. And hearing it, I was just like, what the fuck? And then just listening to, discovering What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse, Everything Went Black, and then stuff from Deathcore, and then onto Rituals, and seeing them on that tour. It just highlighted them as being my favourite death metal band of all times, and Trevor being my favourite vocalist and musician of all time. And to hear this news was absolutely heartbreaking, and it's so sad. The metal community has lost an absolute icon and an absolute titan, and you can feel that the metal scene is very cold today because of it, because we've lost such an absolute legend, and there's no other word you can describe Trevor as a legend in this scene. It's so sad. And I want to add just a quick PS. If anyone out there is struggling with their demons or their devils, don't be afraid to reach out. It's okay not to be okay. And there's friends, there's family, there's even musicians who you've only met once, or even people you've only met once in, say, a nightclub or whatever. If you turn around to them and say, I'm struggling, they will sit down and just listen to you or talk to you or be there for you. There is always someone there for you. You're not alone. I know it's easier said than done, but all we can say is just please reach out. There is telephone lines out there for people to reach out to, but there's also friends and family, loved ones, and even acquaintances who will listen to you in your darkest time. So remember, it's okay not to be okay. I'm going to conclude this video at that. I still love the Black Dahlia Murder. They'll always be my favourite band, and Trevor, may you rest easy, my friend, and I love you. I know we only met once, but I love you and look up to you, and I'll continue to let your legacy live on. Rest in peace, brother. I'll see you until next video. Stay metal, and I'll see you later.